So Phantasy Star Online 2 has an animation,
Mm.
or anime in general, and we didn't really report on this because it's like Phantasy Star Online 2, we're never going to get it because China seems to have a contract of exclusivity.
Yeah,
Fucking idiots.
yeah.
It's just like, just give us the fucking game already.
That we're not really that interested in the series, for
Not
honest.
really. It's like, I've played the first four Phantasy Stars, and I played Universe, but it bored the fuck out of me.
All right. So,
Absolutely boring.
yeah, don't worry. This isn't going to be a Fantasy Star bashing people. Don't worry about that.
No, if you like it, fair enough. If you're looking people to play it online and online 2, great. And for people to play it online, episode 1 and 2, great. I played episode 3 as well, and that was just god awful.
Mm.
Card-based RPGs, I just, no. No.
All right.
Pokemon Trading Card Game was the only one that was fun.
But anyway, moving on.
Yeah, and you brought the question last night, or 2 days ago, what if NiGHTS could have an anime or a movie based on it?
Yeah.
And I was like, I'll bring up the question, couldn't any other Sonic Team game have an anime, movie, or TV series?
Yeah.
I mean, Sonic had one. Sonic X is technically an anime.
Yeah.
And I was thinking to myself, yeah, NiGHTS could potentially be like a serialized animation.
I mean, for me, I was thinking it more as a movie, but we'll get into that more. But it is funny looking at, because again, Sonic Team, you think, what do they do? Well, Sonic, but it's like they have all this other back catalogue of things, which it's surprising that they haven't.
Yeah, like I said, Sonic is the main one. Everyone's like, Sonic Hedgehog, Sonic Team. Oh, isn't it obvious?
Yeah.
Yeah, and the people who make Mario, it's called Super Mario Club. So, and they do different other games.
Mm-hmm.
But it was like, we have Billy Hatcher, NiGHTS, Burning Rangers, Choo Choo Rocket, Puyo Pop since 2001. There's like so many others. Like, you can, a lot of them, especially like NiGHTS, Billy, and Puyo, you can actually make animes based on them. Would it be good? Probably not. I mean, it was the Kirby anime.
Yeah, there was the Kirby one, yeah.
It was even.
But I think part of that will be the question, if they do make an anime, what's the English dub going to be like, which is a whole different kettle of fish.
Depends who actually gets the rights to it, and more than likely, probably Funimation or Viz Media.
Because it's no longer a thing now, so we'd have to worry about that. Well, you don't have to worry about that audience.
Well, the audience doesn't worry about it. We can give two shits.
Yeah.
It's like, do this sound good? Well, yeah. Well, what's the problem then?
It's like, well, as long as you match the lip flapping, which is the most important thing out there.
Yeah, once you get the lip sync done and the actual acting itself is convincing.
Yeah.
Mind you, it's TV show and video game, so it's not exactly like you're producing for a major blockbuster.
Yeah. But anyway, actually, funny enough, a few years ago, I remember someone did some fake screenshots of what looked like the NiGHTS anime, and I don't know where the hell they are. They're probably somewhere on the internet, but I do remember that a few years ago.
I'll show them up if I find them.
Yeah, but like I said, they were literally one of those sort of fake stuff that made you think, is that really real? Kind of, sort of, type thing.
Yeah, I see many. There actually are many tutorials. Even I've done fake screenshots of anime. Like I did a Sonic Freedom Fighters, and it's not perfect. It's there.
Yeah.
I think I found a picture right here.
Yeah, but it is funny looking back at the back catalogue Sonic Team has. It is funny how a lot of them. Again, I think something like Billy Hatcher could work as definitely it's a kids anime thing. I mean, it's definitely tailored to that type of thing. You know, a little kid who ends up becoming great powers from the power of eggs and chicken and goes on epic adventures. Type thing. That's a cool, say, anime like Pokemon, Digimon, Yu-Gi-Oh type thing. Like,
yeah, if a card game can get an anime, why can't a video game? I mean, American items like Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, Donkey Kong Country.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I do remember watching that a lot on Fox Kids. I will admit that, but I do remember it, and when I do remember it, thinking, yeah, that visually didn't. That's pretty outdated, but whatever.
So, like we said, like since Phantasy Star Online 2 has an animation, why can't NiGHTS or heck, even Choo Choo Rocket could have a basically, I would think of it like a Clone Wars kind of thing, where it's like maybe a 30-second miniseries.
I would say Choo Choo Rocket have to be like a series of shorts, really. I mean, I've often said, Worm should be, an animated series, or they should do the shorts.
It's like the shorts, like probably not as good as the previous shorts for a Pixar or Disney film, but I'm thinking more like Scrat from Ice Age.
Yeah, exactly. Like, either for theatrical television or even internet shorts. I mean, hell, if you can make it big on the internet, then quite frankly, you can go anywhere after that.
I'm pretty sure someone's still the idea of a Choo Choo Rocket animation shorts and make it big.
Yeah. But anyway, the one thing I wanted to talk about was actually NiGHTS, because the last few days I've been thinking about NiGHTS, and because I watched a video called Who's That, which is basically looking back at video game characters, and it's done by, I can't say his name properly, but he's one of the guys behind NiGHTS.com, the fan website. And I actually did a reply to a little thing he did, which, I wanted to know what he felt like, and he replied back, which was good. And then I been wondering about NiGHTS the last few days, and one thing for me is that one big problem with video games I think have is a lot of them are treated like just dumb B movies, or to filmmakers, there's not enough stuff they can really pull from the games narratively, or really converse into a story. But then
yes and no. On one hand, most games now are technically just interactive movies. So you have scripted events you have no control over. It's supposed to be an interactive medium, and you basically have no choice.
Yeah,
like in Call of Duty, you end up torturing this guy. He's like, I didn't want to fucking do that, but the game made me do it anyway.
Yeah.
And there's other games like, how can you get a movie out of that? Like, Angry Birds is getting a movie. Like, how the fuck does Angry Birds get a movie? I know it has a cartoon show, but still.
I know, but this is what I mean. Is in, when you think about it, in terms of stuff to really pull from, it's like, well, how do we make this work in a narrative sense? That type of thing. NiGHTS has got a lot from it. I mean, in terms of, like, from the original game, for instance, there was a lot of stuff they made about what the world is about, the enemies, the idea of the Utopians and all that stuff. And again, you wouldn't know this from playing the game.
Yeah, we've played the game. Well, basically, we played the 360 version, up the patched version.
Yeah.
Not walking around like a square.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it's kind of like Five Nights at Freddy's before it was a thing. Basically before walking simulators were a thing. Where there's a game, you play it, it's fun, and after a while it's like, what is any more to it? But anything, you read the manuals, you look around, and there is like a deeper lore behind it. Yeah, Journey of Dreams had a lot more story to it. It actually told you the lore.
Journey of Dreams explained it more. That was the big thing, really.
Yeah. There's a lot of people that's confused about NiGHTS' gender.
Yeah, well,
call him a he, but voiced by a woman. Huh.
Yeah. I mean, it could be anything. I mean, but this is the thing, is in NiGHTS has got all the sort of interesting ideas behind it that I think you could make it as either two things, either as one of those direct-to-DVD Japanese movies, something like the Resident Evil 3D animated movie they did a while back, or even like that Night of the Werewolf short, similar to that. Or as a full-blown feature-length animated feature film made for the West. And I did sort of think, it's like, oh yeah, you could do that. I mean, there's a lot I think you could do with NiGHTS, because the whole concept of it is about dreams and the power of dreams and what they can affect both in in your head and also in the real world. And I think there's a lot you can do that, particularly.
It's like Nightmare on Elm Street for kids.
Yeah, I was going to say that. It is kind of like the kid-friendly version of Nightmare on Elm Street, except where
even though, like you say, it could potentially be into a movie. But like I said, in like the games, there is two characters, and they dream into each other's dreams in their own utopia.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, the movie,
mind you, I would think, because it did this once. I don't know, it only did this once, and it was the black and white Pokemon movie. There was two versions.
Yeah, there was.
So I think you could do that if it's straight to DVD. Other than that, I can see it as a serialized animation.
But like I said, there's a lot you can do with it, and again, I know obviously saying if they were to make a movie, which, that alone could be many different things. Obviously, if you give it to the right people, or how much Sega and Toshiyuki Zara's got control of it or say over it, obviously, because they want to oversee it. And, definitely I would love to see it in, my ideal version, if it was a real movie. I would love it in two ways. I would like it to be in the style of maybe like a Studio Ghibli film, or at the other side is something like DreamWorks' Rise of the Guardians, which I think a lot of people forgot about that movie. Which, again, when I first heard about it, it seemed like kind of a naff idea, taking, the idea of the Tooth Fairy, the Easter Bunny, and the Santa Claus, making them heroes. But it actually is a lot more sincere and a lot more kind-hearted than what I thought it was going to be. And for me, that's kind of, I would love to see the Knights equivalent of that. Because again, there's a lot of potential for that for me. But then again, it's a big what if. And put it this way, this year we're supposed to find out whether there's going to be a Sonic movie or not. And, whether how good or how bad or whatever it is going to be, because we're still in the unknown phase. I think really, if that was a hit, if Sega then wants to do another movie based on the game, I would say Knights is the next big thing to do, because there's just so much untapped potential with that.
Or Burning Rangers.
Yeah, exactly.
Here, we've got to have another anime Japanese-based firefighter crew.
Yeah, exactly. You can never have too many of them.
There's a money pit for you. If you don't want to use Sonic, use Burning Rangers, because you've only used that twice.
Yeah.